Today is the 5th of April and it's almost like summer because the temperature is forecast to be 22 degrees centigrade today. So despite all the coronavirus, we have these lovely images to look at. So this maple grove of mine around the garden, we've got so many different varieties. This one was supposed to be a katsura. So the leaves are the katsura color, but the stems are not very orangey. So this grove of maples has been planted deliberately to give the feeling of walking in a forest. And the maples are all allowed to grow so that they spread from quite low down. So they're almost like an inverted cone shape. See, so the daishojos, I've got 4 daishojos here, but not all of them, even 5 I think. They're not all in leaf yet, but they will soon be in leaf. So this grove will have so many different types of color coming. So I do prune these from time to time, otherwise they won't look like this. I don't want it to grow into a tangle of branches. So the first thing to look for are crossing stems. If there are too many, the insides will gradually die. So if I look at this daishojo, I've got Josh with me, he's going to keep his 2-meter distance. I'll point out which ones to take out. See, like this one, I think we can take this one out and we can take this one out. So using the silky saw, yeah, he's going to take those 2 out, because by taking it out, it's not going to affect the look of the tree. It's just thinning it so that it still looks light and airy. What a lot of people tend to forget are that Acer palmatum, the Japanese maple, is meant to be a light and airy tree. Unlike the trident maple, which has a very thick trunk, maples are meant to look delicate. So to have a heavy trunk maple is not always the sort of image one should encourage to grow. I like these lower hanging branches because they add a lot of artistic quality to it. So it's just selective pruning, as it were. Yeah, that one, yes. So when a piece of pruning has been done well, you shouldn't even notice it. You should just feel that it's been done very, very delicately. You notice we are not using chainsaws because most of the stems, even the very thick ones, are no more than 3 or 4 inches in diameter. So with a very sharp silky saw, we are able to do it. And as I said in the introduction, I'm a very frugal person. So I sometimes don't prune because I like to make air layerings with it. But I've come to the point where I feel that how many air layerings can I keep doing, you know? There's a limit to what I need to do. So I'm not going to air lay every single thing. I will just, you know, carry on. I've got enough trees, so I don't need to do too many air layerings. Josh here is a trained tree surgeon and he's a volunteer. So he's very good with the tree work. This little one, Josh, can come out. See, this one is crossing over here.
This back here, yeah?
Yeah. No, that. Yeah, that one.
That's the branch.
It's twining round. I don't know. I think it may be quite interesting. No, let's leave it. Yeah, it's twined round and round. I'll just leave that one. But where they don't get light, they will eventually die. Now, no, I'll leave it. Leave that one. Now this one, I think there are too many in here. If you look at this, it's already dead. I think half this tree is dead. If you look at this one, the 3, the middle one can come out. See, already some of them are dead. So the middle one can come out. See, already dying in the middle. So if you didn't prune it, nature will take its course and nature will do it for you. So you notice Josh takes part of the thing off and then cleans it up nearer the trunk. So it's always done in 2 stages. Never try and do it in one go. Always do it in a couple of goes. Makes it easier and it gives a neater appearance as well. You must be wondering why I'm showing this video, because nothing to do with bonsai, but that's what you might think, but I think it has everything to do with bonsai, because bonsai is about pruning trees. And if you understand how to prune bonsai, you can quite easily prune your ordinary trees. Yes, that's dead as well. You see, that one's not getting light, so that has to come off. So as I say, if you don't do it, nature will do it for you. So we might as well do it before nature takes its toll. See, that's already a dead tree because it's not getting light. So that's one. And this one also, that one, because it's growing inwards. This one and this one, they're all dead. You see this lovely multi-stem style. I love that style. That one at the top also is gone. Yeah, that one's dead. Yeah. So the more you look, the more you will be able to find. And then there's another one here. Yeah, see? They all tend to die if they don't get light. So we're letting more light in. So that's the general principle. So you notice we are about 3, 4, 5 meters away. And so we'll go on doing all the trees. I will show you more after we've done more. Yeah, see, lots of dead branches just dying naturally. There are a couple of thin ones here, Josh.
Yep.
These ones, these 2 thin ones.
This one?
Yeah, that one. That can go. And those 2 up there, further, yeah, that can, that's all dead. I think that whole branch is dead, isn't it? Take the whole thing out.
That one's what it is, it's these 2.
Yeah, okay. Again, lack of light, they're dead. In fact, I think that whole branch can come out.
Yeah.
From low down. From the junction. Yeah, from the junction, yeah, right down there. We're taking right from the inside because these inside branches, due to lack of light, they will eventually die, so we're going to take it out before it dies. You see, there's already a lot of dead twigs. In the past I would have just air-laid them out, but I will forget that now. That's dead.
Yeah.
While I'm filming this, let me just show you how this Deshojo is budding back from really old wood. Look at the new shoots, all growing from this really thick old branch. So this is the beauty of deciduous trees. They will just produce branches from almost nowhere. Now this old Arakawa or rough bark maple, the beauty is in the trunk and the stems. So I'll only very lightly prune some of these so-called crossing branches. Like that one I will take out where it's crossing, and some of the weaker ones I will take out, but I won't take too many out because the character of this tree is really in the multi-trunk stem formation. There are branches that naturally die back from lack of light, as always. What do we do with the cuts? Some people seal it, some don't. I'm not very fussed about sealing the cuts. About 30 years ago, there was a product called Arbrex, like a black paint that people used to put on. But nowadays we use all sorts of other sealant. This is called lac balsam, and this can be used. But even if you don't use it, this we didn't use. This was cut about 3 years ago. Look at it, it's completely healed itself. So I don't think you really need to seal it. But if in doubt, do it. But I'm not absolutely convinced that it helps. With bonsai it helps because you don't want to risk it, so why take the risk? But with all these big garden trees like these, you see, that wasn't sealed. It'll just callus over and the wood will rot, and it'll just seal itself naturally. If there are very big cuts and you're worried, I can see a very big cut here. So what I'm going to do, I will probably seal it. I think there are a lot of interesting rings. Whenever I see the rings, I'm wanting to count them. I'm self-videoing. You can see the amount we've pruned. The more you look, the more you will find that many of these branches are dying from lack of light. They just die naturally, and left to their own devices, you don't even have to prune them. This tree, when you think it was only planted in 1991 and the diameter is almost 2 foot across, multi-trunk, I've taken endless air layerings from it, and that base there, that's going to be air laid into a 3 or 4 inch diameter trunk bonsai. The whole of that can come off here. You notice we always take it off in stages, because if you try to take the whole thing down, it may rip the branch in the wrong place. So tree surgery is an art, science. No, I think the whole thing can come off, Josh.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Artistically, it does nothing. And you can see there are already some dead branches there because it doesn't get light, they just break off and fall. Just to show you how much we've taken off already in just half an hour's work. All that bit, all this bit, all this bit. So this is the annual spring prune, and there's more to come. Today is the 22nd of April, and it's about, I would say, 2 weeks since I pruned these trees. So although I pruned the trees quite heavily, there is still so much shade in this glade. But the beauty of this glade is this mysterious character and atmosphere that we get, that is overshadowed by the leaves, but there is still gaps between the trees. Look at the structure of the trees. You can look at it and it looks almost magical and ethereal. And when the sunlight comes through the leaves, this is where I sometimes have my breakfast in the morning. And during the day, on a sunny day, people come here and sit in the shade. We do have, in fact, a seat here. And we sit here and look out onto our garden. Had I not pruned the trees, there would be many more branches, and there would be a lot of sick branches and dead branches, which we've removed. But we've removed, I would say, 15%, 15 to 20% of the live branches to give it this a distinctive character. So this is the effect of our pruning. And pruning is a regular job that we have to keep doing to keep the garden looking nice. So I hope you've enjoyed this video.